Hi everyone and welcome back to the Realtor Tip of the Month for March. I'm Nikki. I work with Ben Dreams Realty. Been a licensed realtor for just over 5 years, sliding into that 6th year. And the market at this time is very different from the last 5 years of markets that I've been licensed for. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to get that winning accepted offer as a buyer. So obviously right now, between our low inventory and our really affordable rates, there's definitely a seller's market at the moment. Buyers are still competing quite heavily. I can tell you in the last 5 days, I've written 4 offers and all 4 have been rejected. I smile when they say that because it's definitely giving each buyer that's had the rejected offer learning curves. So we're learning about what we wrote in the offer and how we can better appeal to a seller in our offer. So we're going to talk about 5 things. So number 1, pre-approval. We're always going to tell you get that pre-approval first. It's definitely going to make you be able to submit an offer as quickly as possible. Number 2, always work with a licensed real estate agent. Not only do we keep you safe through our contracts and make sure that is just ironclad, you're getting what you pay for kind of stuff, but also we cover errors and omissions insurance, which can be used if something goes awry in the contract, either during or after it is closed and you have purchased the home. Number 3, we're going to talk about offer price. So in this market, I've been seeing a lot of properties go for over asking. And so this can definitely pull your budget back. So if you're only approved for $500,000, but properties are going for, 30 or 40,000 over, you may want to start your search out below 450 so you can be competitive with your offers. And that can make a huge difference. And we'll get to a little bit more about offer price and that sort of thing later. 4, so the terms in your offer can make a huge difference. So not only is that offer price going to be a big deal, but if you're allowing the seller maybe a couple extra days to stay in the home or get moved or that sort of thing, that can be helpful. And I never suggest waiving an inspection or appraisal, but give yourself that inspection, and as you tour the home at your first viewing, make sure that you're looking around, kind of checking out what the house looks like. Is there big holes in the wall? Is there anything that looks like it's damaged, to the point where it's like a safety hazard? If there isn't anything major like that, and you get the accepted offer, do the inspection, and there's not huge things, write in your offer that you'll take the property as is and you'll do any little upgrades that you need to do yourself. So you just want to make sure that you don't waive that inspection. You can find out everything from structural, or if there's like any kind of foundation issues, or one of the big ones being in the outlying areas, septic and well issues. So that's also in your inspection period. So that's your just FYI, good to know kind of thing, but you're not asking the seller for any repairs. Another thing with terms is appraisal. And I've seen a lot of buyers lately waive their appraisal contingency. And what that does is it doesn't mean that you don't have an appraisal if you are getting a mortgage and a lender is helping you out with the loan. What it means is if you purchased a property for $400,000 and the appraisal came back and said it was only worth $390,000, the buyer has to come up with that $10,000 difference in cash, because there's no way to pull it from anywhere because there's no value in the home. And a lot of times the seller will say, yeah, figure it out. So it's not a good idea to waive appraisal, and I don't suggest it. I think it's very risky. It's not a good idea to waive any of your contingencies, but that little trickery in the terms as far as like purchasing the home as is after inspection, that can be a winning. And that's helped me before. Another thing I do a little bit in terms is it's called an escalation clause. So if your budget is significantly higher than what your initial offer would be, or maybe their asking price, you can offer up to that price, but in a special way. So you say you'll offer such as like $1,000 over is the highest competing bid up to an X amount of dollar. So you're willing to pay that, that X amount of the purchase price, but if there's another offer that's $5,000 less and you're only paying $1,000 more, there's ability to save some money there. It's worked for me many times. Sometimes it doesn't. Real estate offers are not foolproof. So These are all great things that can help you with terms. And the last one, the best advice I can give for you is always be respectful to the sellers when you're walking through their home. A lot of times they aren't home, which I'm very thankful for because it can make it very awkward for a buyer trying to come into a home and view everything that's there, the cabinets, and they feel like they can't really look and view everything when the seller's there. But making sure you're being respectful. If you have children, they're not jumping on anything. They're not playing with any children's toys if there's in there. Just making sure that you are being respectful to the sellers and trying to be mindful of your showing time. So usually showings right now are hovering around that 30-minute mark unless you get into rural properties, which they're about 45 minutes. Be mindful of everyone's time, and if you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us here at Ben Dreams Realty. We'd be happy to help, and I hope you guys have a great spring.